All right, with that, let's take a quick look to see what's been happening on the markets. Now, we've had a red day. Nick Kunze from Sanlam Private Wealth is unpacking the latest market developments for us. Nick, thanks very much indeed for talking to us. We're down on the day, but what an incredible run it's been this year on the JSE. As we approach that holiday season, it has been a good year.
It's been a fantastic year. I don't feel too bad if you're opening your statements today and seeing the market down just 0.7, because look back since the 1st of January and you'll find the all shares down almost 23%. So if you told anyone a couple of years ago at the start of the pandemic you get a 22% return in Rand, they'd have laughed at you. So yes, it's not too bad so far.
It's interesting, though, that we talk about inflation, and we've been concerned about food inflation. We've been concerned about the petrol price. One of the big triggers of that is this weakening Rand that we talk about. It seems to have had a good day today. I'm wondering if it stays that way, will there be any material effect on our worsening inflation, Nick?
Well, the short answer is probably yes. Look, we've got to keep it. You've got to put the oil into that factor too. So, for us as emerging markets, we tend to import a lot of our inflation, oil being the main factor in that basket, because obviously we don't produce any oil here at home. So it is a concern, and a weakening Rand with a stronger oil is not good for us, which equals inflation. So I do think we need to keep a bit of a closer eye on it. But you would be quite relieved that the oil price is, $5, $6 off where it was when we just had the latest petrol hike at the pump. So we might get a little bit of a reprieve. But I think going into 2022, the main concern for investors and all of us, in fact, is to keep an eye on inflation, which I think is going to be starting to sneak up on us even more.
I think we've got about a week left in terms of business days when, economic activity really starts to slow down, as well as activity on the markets. And again, to my first question, there would have been some investors that were happy this year, despite what COVID had done.
Yeah, there would have been it, and often the JSE and South African shares and SA Inc. itself is often sort of at the receiving end of a bit of bad press. But what's been the interesting point for me is it's been a couple of M&A activity and a couple of acquisitions and a couple of companies that have left the local bourse, and they left the local bourse because foreign entities bought them. And they're starting to see value in some of our shares, where maybe us that are a little bit closer to a little bit more doom and gloom as we tend to be in South Africa didn't see the value. So that's been an interesting turn of events for me, that South African shares are starting to look cheap and the foreigners are sweeping for them. So yeah, it has been in general, I think we can look back and say it's been quite a positive year if you've been a JSE shareholder, and in fact all of us who sit with our pensions in South Africa.
All right, Nick Kunze from Sanlam, thanks very much indeed.